Welcome into a new BuffStampede Radio. Adam Munsterteiger, the publisher of BuffStampede.com on the 247Sports Network. And I'm excited to welcome in 247 Sports Director of Recruiting, Steve Wiltfong. Steve, I just want to touch on a few Colorado-related topics with you being a national writer. I'm curious, what is the perception of CU football following this 2023 season? Obviously, a hot start, a rough finish, but there's still a lot of buzz around Colorado. Deion Sanders was just named Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year, so there's still some of that buzz out there.
Well, from a recruiting standpoint, prospects and their families are very excited to be on the phone with Deion Sanders and his coaching staff. Obviously, Coach Sanders is an electric guy that has a ton of charisma, and he's eloquent in his message about what he's looking for at Colorado and how he's trying to turn the program around. And so when he connects with recruits, good things start trending for Colorado. And there's 3 weeks till the early signing period is here. They're going to hit the portal hard, obviously. They got some high school prospects that they're keyed in on. And anytime a prospect or a kid in the portal is going to get a chance to talk with Deion Sanders, they're not going to take it lightly. And he gives Colorado a puncher's chance to be in the mix for a lot of prospects.
Two blue chip prospects in the 2024 class, Texas athlete Draylon Miller and Georgia Edge recruit King Joseph Edwards, are scheduled to come out to Boulder for an official visit this coming weekend. Steve, let's start with Draylon Miller. He was previously committed to Texas A&M. He's visited LSU recently. What are you hearing about his recruitment?
Well, I talked with his dad this morning, and they're excited to get back out to Colorado this weekend. They had a chance to take in the Oregon State game. And I talked to Draylon and his father after that visit. They had a great experience. They used the words amazing to describe it, just being around the coaches and players. They think it's going to be a special place in the next couple of years, and the opportunity to play with Shedeur Sanders next year. They think that he's going to take another jump after having the opportunity to play this competition. It's an exciting opportunity. They're in the thick of it. Texas and Ohio State are starting to turn it up for Draylon Miller. Obviously, LSU's been a major contender, USC. Then I'm still not sleeping on Texas A&M. Mike Elko, new coach there, new coaching staff, a lot of excitement around the Aggies. I still wouldn't be surprised if he ended up back at Texas A&M, but I think there's reason to think that Texas A&M is in a really good position for Draylon Miller right now, going into an official visit that they're very excited to take. And then obviously the 247 Sports Crystal Ball already favors Colorado for four-star edge King Joseph Edwards out of Houston, Georgia, Mill Creek High, one of the powerhouse programs in the Peach State. He played at Buford before that. He knows what great culture looks like. He's going to bring that right mentality to whatever school he chooses. Right now, we like where Colorado stands. He was also at the Oregon State game. Nick Williams leading the recruitment for King Joseph Edwards. And one thing that King told me, King Joseph, what catches my eye is the fact that they know this is a program that needs work, and everyone on staff is working hard to accomplish that same goal. And that's to build a program that's going to win championships. And he wants to be part of that potential climb, maybe. And talked about the passion he saw around the program and the energy. And so with that, I think that Colorado's in really good shape with King Joseph coming into the weekend, and certainly one that's in the thick of it with Draylon Miller as he returns for his official visit.
Four-star Cam Michael recently joined his cousin and Statesboro teammate Amontre Bradford in committing to Colorado, choosing the Buffaloes over really a who's who of college football, including in-state Georgia. He's listed as an athlete. He was recruited on both sides of the ball. Steve, I'm curious what stands out to you about Cam Michael's game and how his future fit with the Buffaloes looks.
Well, you could get anyone on the phone and ask them what stands out about Cam Michael's game, and they're going to first and foremost say speed. This is a young man that can absolutely run. He's got game-changing ability with his athleticism, and he's going to begin his career on offense. And so he's another guy that can touch the football and put points on the board at any time. And I think when you look at what Colorado did in the portal last year, and then what they were able to do on the recruiting trail at the skill positions, they added a lot of speed and playmaking ability. Now they're trying to come behind and add more to it as they try and become one of the more potent offenses in college football. And Cam Michel is a guy that has a skill set to be a game changer in that regard. He'll be one of the fastest players on the field in any stadium that he steps in at any point in his college career. It was a big recruiting win, and it shows the chops that Colorado has on the trail. This is a small recruiting class right now, but they've got some big recruiting wins within that group. And Cam Michel is a guy that was absolutely coveted by some of the best programs in the SEC, and he's coming to Boulder to try and help turn that around.
You mentioned Nick Williams. Right now, Colorado has 5 of their 9 verbal commits from the state of Georgia. King Joseph Edwards is also from the Peach State. Obviously, Nick Williams has had a huge impact. He's got ties to Georgia, playing for the Bulldogs collegiately. How much has his name come up just in terms of a national buzz as a guy that has recruiting prowess and kind of as a riser when it comes to recruiting?
And don't forget, he's the lead recruiter on Brandon Davis Swain as well, 4-star defensive lineman from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Look, Coach Williams is a guy that was hired at Colorado, and a lot of that was because of the reputation that he built on the recruiting trail of helping Texas A&M and then Georgia before that land big-time prospects. He's a guy that does a great job of building relationships with key targets. Certainly being from Georgia, he has that connection with those guys. But again, Brandon Davis Swain, and he helped Texas A&M recruit nationally, helped Georgia recruit nationally. He's a guy that loves the grind on the recruiting trail, loves connecting with prospects, loves getting to know their families, and he's passionate about trying to get them to come to Colorado. And so he's a terrific recruiter, and it's showing up for Colorado certainly this cycle. And he'll be in there with his sleeves rolled up in the transfer portal, trying to help convince college guys to come in and help this program out right away as well.
Colorado is expected to have another big incoming transfer class. And so to make room for that, they're going to be pretty selective. They have been selective and kind of approach 2024 high school and junior college recruiting with a quality over quantity type of approach. So that's going to make it hard for them, Steve, to rank really high in terms of the national team recruiting rankings. But on 247 Sports, now we have the transfer rankings and then the overall rankings. I'm just curious where you think, if you were a CU fan sitting here today, what would be a realistic expectations in terms of what their overall class could look like?
Well, I mean, I think you could probably answer that question better than me as you're closer to the program. I just know that when you look at the 2023 class, it was one that when you combined high school recruiting to transfer recruiting, it ranked 21 nationally combined. They had the number 1 portal class, number 29 high school class. And I think that they didn't play the way they wanted to down the stretch, And so I think that they're going to try and address that right away. And so I would imagine that they're going to try and take as many difference makers in the portal as they can. And however that means, they got to manage their roster moving forward. So it is what it is. So the thing with high school recruiting, my favorite barometer is average ranking per commit. And so I think that Colorado has a strong standing in that category amongst their conference. And so the guys that they are taking are good players. Now, they need a lot of good players. I think that's, they were in a lot of ball games. A lot of those unfortunately went the other way. So they're looking for some more players to help them turn those close L's in the W's as they try and take this program to the next level. And the transfer portal is obviously going to be a key part in that.
Steve, you're the best in the business. I know this is a crazy time of year for you and your staff. Thanks for carving out some time to join us to talk about the Buffs.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, Adam. Good luck as you have to cover the transfer portal that's opening up on Monday.
It's going to be another crazy offseason with Coach Prime at the helm. Thanks, everybody out there, for tuning in.